IAS Academy. So in today's video, we are going to discuss about the poultry sector. So let us first understand ki why are we discussing about poultry sector? That is because of the outbreak of H5N1, okay? And the climate change which is expected to reduce the production of the poultry sector. We are discussing about this sector. Okay? So what do we mean by poultry sector? We mean cultivation of birds for two main purposes. One is meat and the other one is egg. Okay? So if we are cultivating birds for getting eggs or getting meat out of them, that is all that businesses will be called as the poultry sector. Okay? Now talking about the types of poultry sector, in India we do have two types of poultry sector. One is environmentally controlled. So this is an example of environmentally controlled poultry farm. Okay? And the other one, this is called as an open poultry. In India, 30% of the poultry, we call this as the backyard poultry. Backyard poultry. Now what is the meaning of backyard poultry? This is basically a type of open poultry only, but the purpose is not to cultivate meat or egg. It is more or less some form of mixed farming that poultry is being cultivated, okay? Or the birds are being nurtured. Okay? They also sell off the milk and the meat and eggs that they get out of it, but this is just a side business, what they call. Okay? So 30% of India's poultry is basically a backyard poultry. Okay? Now talking about the statistics, India is the third largest producer of meat and eggs together. India is the third largest producer. In some rankings, it is also fourth. Who are the countries who are ahead of us? That is US, China and Brazil. Okay. If we talk about only meat production within India, the largest producer is West Bengal, followed by Maharashtra, and then West Bengal followed by Maharashtra and then Tamil Nadu. But with respect to egg, the largest producer becomes Andhra Pradesh, followed by Tamil Nadu and then Telangana. Okay? So South India produces huge amount of eggs in India. Okay? Now talking about the challenges that are being faced by the poultry sector. The first major challenge is of course the disease. Okay? Disease H5N1, bird flu or any other disease that is encountered by even the maize plantation also affects the poultry sector. Okay? And anytime if there is outbreak of such kind of avian influenza, it leads to a severe fall in production. Okay? Now the price volatility is the second major challenge. Price volatility can occur because of two reasons. One is the change in price of the food, that is the feed price fluctuation. But otherwise also there can be changes in fluctuation in demand or price volatility. That is because of rumors of any avian influenza also leads to decline in demand and it alters the price. So there is immense amount of price volatility. We have not been able to get a stable price related to poultry farming industry. Okay? Now what is the challenge with respect to feed price fluctuation? So with respect to poultry, there are two major things that they consume. One is soy and the second one is maize. So if there is any fluctuation in the production of soy or in production of maize, so that means feed price there is fluctuation, which will in turn be reflected in price volatility of the poultry farmers. Okay? And third is the supply chain. Supply chain is also a major problem because we have not been able to smoothen the supply chain process itself. Supply chain includes basically all the infrastructure related issues. So there is issue with respect to storage, with respect to cold chain facility, okay? And with respect to the logistics facility which is responsible for transferring the poultry. Okay? Then there is one more challenge that is related to policy. Government has also there is lack of initiatives coming from the state government and the central government side also because of high labor cost and the labor involved in poultry sector plus the finance, less availability of finances. So they will have to, the poultry farmers do end up going to the informal money lenders. Okay? Because the financial channel in India have not been able to provide availability of finances in the hands of poultry farmers. So this happens. ठीक है? Or there are changes, fluctuations in regulations also. Regulation is also not very constant. Lack of consistency. This has also aggravated the issues of poultry sector. ठीक है? So, but apart from this, there are miscellaneous issues also. For example, CPCB has stated that any poultry farm which contains more than 5,000 birds, that will be considered as a polluting industry, very high polluting industry. So, there is a major environmental challenge. Usually, the manner in which poultry is cultivated, the birds are cultivated, it is in a closed environment. So, environmentally controlled conditions may poultry cultivation is done to a great extent, and that leads to very highly contagious environment in which these are being fed. Okay? So, there are environmental challenge. Then there is a challenge of Chakravyuh challenge. Chakravyuh challenge matlab ki, for example, the poultry, somebody has entered into the poultry business now and wants to close down this business. So, there is a very difficult option for the farmer, for the poultry farmer, to close down the business and come out of it. The regulations in closing down the existing poultry farm is immense, that the individual is not able to come out of the poultry business. Okay? So that is also one of the challenge. And then of course we have the issue of antibiotics. Okay? To ensure that birds do not suffer from avian influenza or any kind of disease and pest infection, so these birds are fed with antibiotics, and that is ultimately coming into the form of meat industry also, which is consumed by human beings. So ultimately there is the problem of antimicrobial resistance or antibiotics which are entering into the body, leading to AMR issues from the poultry sector also. Okay? So these are the challenges related to the poultry sector. Now let us see the legislations. Legislation may, it has been classified that if a farmer is holding from 5,000 to 25,000 birds, so all such kind of farmers will be called as a small farmer. But in between 25,000 and 1 lakh, they will be called as a medium poultry farmer. More than 1 lakh, all of them will be called as large farmers. Okay? Legalities may, we have the CPCB regulation also. That means if you are either a small or a medium or a large farmer, large scale poultry farmer, so you will have to comply with CPCB's polluting industries criteria also. Okay? So you will have to pay penalty, whatever with the associations related to CPCB classifying an industry as polluting industry, you will have to adhere to those compliance means. Okay? Next, we also have the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act, which ensures that undue confinement or non-environmental or inhuman confinement of birds shall not be permitted. Okay? So the poultry farmers have to comply to all these rules for the cultivation of birds for meat as well as eggs. Okay? Now, what are the government initiatives that have been taken in this sector? First major initiative is that of ASCAD, that is Assistance to State for eradication of or removal of disease. Okay? Disease related to birds. Okay? So there is a financial assistance that is coming from central government to the state government, so that the state government can fight against the avian influenza which is persisting in that particular state. Okay? Apart from this, 269th Law Commission has also stated in its report that with respect to poultry farming, there should be 3 major focus areas. The first is the animal care. So we will have to also adhere to the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act restrictions, that inhuman confinement shall not be permitted. Okay? So animal care, even in case of poultry sector also, animal care has to be taken care of. Plus the waste management, the waste that is being generated by keeping more than 5,000 birds also needs to be properly managed. Okay? It should not end up in nearby agricultural fields. And third focus area was the antibiotic resistance. Law Commission stated that we need to curb the antimicrobial resistance being gained by human beings from the poultry industry. Okay? Talking about the significance of the poultry sector with respect to farmer, it is an alternate safe source of income. For farmers, the significance is it becomes an alternate source of income. Okay? For common people, it becomes a food and nutritional support. The meat industry provides food and nutritional support related to specifically protein. Okay? For agriculture industry also it is immense. Agriculture industry maybe we do make use of ensure the prevalence of poultry sector. Okay? And then vertical integration. Vertical integration is something very important. Key poultry industry is one such industry wherein there is perfect coordination. So poultry is provided by the poultry cultivator, or they will be providing with food supplies also. They will be connecting with the logistics facilities also. So I am saying there is somebody who is ensuring with respect to agriculture. Let's say you need to go to different heads for seeds here, for water here, for electricity here, for fertilizer here, for harvesting here, processing here, and then selling off to the market at some other place. But with respect to poultry industry, there is very severe vertical integration. So there is continuous flow of let's say poultry, then poultry feed, then market connectivity. All of that is completely integrated in case of poultry. Okay? So that is the significance. So it is relatively easier to tap on this resource, okay, and generate revenue out of it. Now talking about way forward, some of the suggestive solutions to improve the poultry sector currently can be compartmentalization. Compartmentalization matlab we are trying to segregate the poultry, the birds, on the basis of health. So how is their health, or what is their age, or on some other basis we will try to classify the poultry. Let's say a set of birds who are unhealthy or have shown past records of being unhealthy, their immune system are weak, we need to segregate them, okay, because they can be breeders of disease in a particular farm. Okay. Age wise also it is important. So we need to for example an aging poultry wala jo farm rahega, in those areas that particular bird has to be shifted to meat industry as early as possible. Okay. So this kind of compartmentalization within the farm should be carried out. Second is the vaccination program, so as to ensure that birds do not suffer from a particular disease. And third can be precision feeding. Precision feeding or cold chain facility. Cold chain we discussed was a lacuna. Okay? Cold chain is one of the lacuna that we have not been able to provide with better storage facility. But precision feeding is carried out in such a manner that it ensures that correct amount of nutrient is entering into the bird's body. Okay? So precision feeding can also ensure low cost, better generation of poultry based meat for the farmers. Okay? So these can be some of the suggestive solutions that can be used in writing the answers related to poultry sector. Okay? With that we come to the end of this topic. I wish you all the very best. If you have any doubt, please do let us know in the comment section. Thank you so much.